Yeah, we out right here grilling, trying to get this grill together. That's how we looking. You know, I gotta turn this over. Not not too bad. Have a second set of sauce, different choices. You know, see that? Looking good. You know, this is the Outdoor Marine Adventure with Lawrence Pratt. And like y'all know, that's my lovely wife right there. You gotta do some just like a little minor adjustments. You know, just as best. That's a different sauce. So that's a different sauce that when it's covered up. You know. Yes, I got to probably flip this one. You know, looking good so far. Okay, not bad at all. Y'all can tell me what y'all think, you know, when y'all view this. You know, I don't have a brush. You know, a brush is a necessity for grilling. You know, let me express something. I prefer to buy a brand new brush. If a brush is old, I don't want to use it. Once you don't use that, that's something like, you know, I wouldn't want to compare it with a toothbrush, but you know, a lot of people don't rinse their brush after they done finish grilling, and when you examine it, you could tell, you know, it probably needs to be sanitized properly. But in all things, I give thanks. I'm still able to get it, the sauce on by using a spoon. All this is a challenge to make you an even much better griller. You know, circumstances and what you are given to work with. And I think that I measured this particular sauce easy. Let's check out this next sauce with is hiding underneath this paper. You know, you could even see the texture is a little bit different, that much darker. This is much lighter. This has more spice inside of it. I'll close this right down. You know, so this could take, and this is doing pretty good right there. Those are seasoned to perfection. People sometimes want things differently, prepared differently. It gives you a better better flavor, and you have a better appreciation like for it. You know, why is it, you know? Let me see, the next thing I could give with grilling tips, according to what type of grill it is, keep a section of your grill cool, and keep one side with the heat so you could switch as things start to get done. You could put them on one side. Just have a 3 option burner, so you could allow one to run, or you could allow the 2 ends to run and keep the middle cool. Depends on how you feel is better, and especially what is you're working with on the grill itself. You know, after putting that on, because I am doing this, I don't want that. This is doing separate from those. You know, I'm gonna put those on soon directly, but it gives me a chance to come right here and to relax right here by the pool. I wouldn't really want to go in right now because I'm dealing with the grill, but it gives me a chance to relax my foot, get my foot wet right here in the edges of the pool, and to talk a little bit, you know, not too much, about upcoming events. This is an opportunity now for me to talk about upcoming events. Usually I show a lot of episodes in the small boat mainly. Very rarely I show episodes in any of the big boats because it's really private. The small boats is like an island flavor to want to inspire you, even if you cannot get a big boat. You know, if you believe in God, you trust in God to get a small boat and to safely know how to operate and use a small boat. And I want you to know something, and I will share this with you. A lot of small boat operators are more experienced in boating than persons who has big boats. You might find that hard to believe, but I want you to know it's so, because it's very difficult to operate a small boat, you know, because if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose your life. The same thing with big boats. But what makes a small boat good in terms of training grounds is you have to make sure that the boat is balanced. So in a big boat, when you get a big boat, you'll know just what you're dealing with in terms of balance. Sometimes you carry a crew of people with you and they are unexperienced with boating and you could lose your life. You have to know, well, as you start to ride or use the boat on the open sea, how to now sit people in your boat. Seating is important. You can't put all the heavy persons on one side, or because one side has the scenery, everybody wants to lean to one side of the boat. It cannot work that way. Although it's a big boat, big boats capsize when the weight is unbalanced and a wave hit it. Having a small boat, you will learn this instantly. In some cases, you'll probably even turn over, from experience. I've turned over not in a boat with a motor, but like in things such as like kayaks and smaller, tinier vessels. I urge persons to get like a kayak to start off with, or a paddling boat, or something that requires you to use balance. It trains you and prepares you for getting a big boat. If you buy a big boat, I suggest you park that big boat. If you never experienced using a small boat before, buy a kayak or buy a next small vessel and use that for like a period of time before you venture off into the big boat. That's my suggestion. And it might sound like a crazy gesture. Let me turn around in the jacuzzi part. It sounds like a crazy gesture, right? But I want you to know it's like a training ground. It's like self-training. So you could train yourself to be accurate in terms of being aware of when there's a problem with the boat, being unstable, in terms of capsizing. Some people, they never own a boat in their life. They go buy a nice boat with two big 200 horsepower Mercury's or Yamaha or Suzuki engine on it, and they don't have no boating experience. And sometimes they get away through the years by taking their time. They'll eventually learn things. But I want you to know, in many cases, people make drastic mistakes. I always encourage persons to upgrade. Start off with something small like a kayak, then get a little slightly bigger boat with a little small outboard kicker on it. And then afterwards, after spending a few years learning how to anchor a boat, that's the next thing. Learning how to anchor a boat, not being tied up or caught up in the anchor rope, and other things in dealing with safety in terms of casting line and fishing line, tangling. You're on a small boat. If you know how to safely be on a small boat, you and two or three persons casting line, and you perfect that, when you get a big boat, it's no problem because it's excess amount of space on the big boat. This is just some things I just decided to talk about. Seeing that, this is outdoor marine. Let me go check the grill, see how that is working out. Give that a time. This is gonna be one of my first, I wouldn't say first. I already have some videos on YouTube already. I hope this ain't buying. Well, it almost has some parts on the edges. Now, remember I mentioned with a cool spot? This side of the grill, I have the two ends like, I got to turn off this side. Use this, bring this over to the far end so this could slowly finish cook. Just have a little, I wouldn't call it burn, but just little burns to the edges. Now, I'm going to end this video because I need my 2 iron. I want to be careful. You're dealing with heat. I don't want to drop nothing. And I want to safely put this down in a correct manner. But it was nice sharing with all of you. And I didn't catch actually a swim, but it was all good. So I take this time to come right here before I go inside to say thank you for joining the moment with the Outdoor Marine Adventure. Myself, Lawrence Pratt, and I'll share more in the distant future. This ends the video.